Hi everyone. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my bottle collection. Now I got the idea to do this video from a subscriber and fellow YouTuber, Bob Harder, Bob the Bottle Man. So I'll put a link to his channel in the description. He collects old bottles and he's kind of doing a video series on all of his, so I figured I'd show you what I've got. So let's take a look here. Before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know that on my brother's channel, we finally got around to doing that podcast. So it's up on his channel right now. Go check it out, Prairie Dunker. I'll put a link to his channel in the description as well. Okay, so I guess I'll start with the full bottles that I have. Now I'm gonna try not to go into too much detail on these because it would take forever if I showed each bottle individually and described it, but this is what I have for full bottles, what I have left. So we'll kind of just, some of these are newer, like this one, not too interesting. This one here, I grabbed this in Rapid City, or actually in Deadwood at an antique store. A lot of these here came from the States, like these here. Back in like 07, 08, we'd go on road trips and pick these up. This one's pretty cool. This is from 2008. It's kind of like an old 1900s reproduction Coke bottle. These aluminum cans are kind of cool. Tomato juice with the old style top. And one of these Chinese drinks. This actually isn't that old. It's probably only 5 years old or so, but it's got the old style pull tabs on it. Christmas one. And yeah, I used to have a lot more full bottles when I was younger, but back then, whenever I'd misbehave, the punishment from my parents was to dump like an old bottle or whatever. So that's kind of why I only have this many full ones. And since then, you know, I kind of lost the ambition to collect, you know, fulls because it was just too risky, you know. But then kind of once I didn't keep too many fulls, I remember one time came home and my mom had a bunch of like empty bottles, Coke bottles, I think, gathered up in like a rubber, like one of those plastic Rubbermaid tubs with a hammer, and was smashing them all. So, you know, kind of lost interest, I guess, a little bit in collecting. But now that I'm older and I guess can defend my collections, I guess you could say, kind of starting to get back into it now that I have the YouTube and, you know, that kind of community to support me and not tell me I'm crazy for saving all this stuff. But yeah, not too much interesting in terms of full ones, but that's what I got left. And then over here, this is my Spain collection from when I went to Spain back in 2016. So these are all Spanish, and there's a couple Moroccan ones in here. Went to Morocco. That was one, kind of a cool collector's edition. I like how their actual bottles are like neon color. And then some of those, yeah, these are all modern. Not really into the this Pepsi is tiny. It's like the size of a juice box. Here's one of the Moroccan ones. I thought I had another one. I'm not sure where that went. All right. Okay, now in this tub, this is all just kind of, you know, really non-valuable stuff. Just kind of stuff that I thought was cool. I guess this one's pretty cool, an aluminum can from 2008, back on our US trips there. An old Five Alive steel can, old Sprite bottle, old Molson beer bottle. These are, let's say this is just really like non-valuable stuff, just stuff that's kind of cool. These here, I remember they used to sell these back in, oh, this one's from 2014, it says. Just kind of some more interesting Pepsi Fire. Anyways, let's get on to the interesting stuff. And then these here I got at that garage sale. You saw them in the last video. Still haven't done anything with them all this time. And here is another thing I have. I think these are all like those throwback Pepsis with the musicians. These are all full too, by the way. I kind of forgot about these. I just got kind of all the different ones in here. Throwback 7-Up, like the one in Spain, but this one, they released these in Canada like a year or two later. The throwback 7-Ups. Yeah, I thought these cans were pretty cool. They're pretty realistic. But anyways, that's what those are. And then a Crystal Pepsi. And these here, I just acquired these recently. I haven't had time to clean them off or anything, but got A&W, Pop House. I think Pop House was just a Saskatchewan thing. Sunkissed. These are all like probably late 80s, I'm guessing, mid to late 80s, somewhere in there. Not entirely that old. I think they had glass bottles in Saskatchewan a little longer than other places, but the A&W ones are kind of cool. Those might be desirable. And then just some blank ones. I'm not too sure what the deal is with those, but now another thing I just picked up here last week was this little collection of 2010 Olympic Coke collectibles. And this here is, it's just a styrofoam bottle, but it lights up. And they would give these out at the torch races, I believe. And I always wanted one ever since 2010, but never went to a torch race. And these were going for like, you know, a couple $100 on eBay. So I found these on Kijiji, just a local, kind of the Craigslist equivalent in the States. And this whole thing was 25 bucks. So I was able to get this, and these are still going for like, you know, 150 or 200 on eBay. And then they've got these aluminum bottles, which are all full. Coke Zero, and then just a regular Coke. I remember these. I used to have them. Maybe I still do, I don't know. Now these here are some of my Pop Shop bottles, and I actually use these for making homemade root beer. So these aren't actually original full. This is the homemade root beer that we make. But I have a lot more of these. I'll show you them and tell you the story behind them. Now here's the rest of them. I think there's 20 cases in total. And the story with these is I was doing some work on an old building, and these were all in the basement. So that's where I picked them up from. You know, a lot of them I started cleaning. They got the garbage bags over them to keep the dust out. Here's just some other, what ones. These are from Mexico. This is just an old 7-Up. There's some more in here from Mexico, like that one. Old Pepsi bottle. And then there's some stubbies in here too. And it looks like I got some different ones down in here. Pepsi bottle from the 50s. Some Crush. And then these ones here are newer. I was just using all these for root beer as well. Canada Dry, probably from the 80s or 90s. Some old long neck beer bottles. There's a Wishing Well. That one, this is actually really old. This is probably from the 40s. Sometimes they used to put dates on the bottom. But yeah, some of these, as you can see, I haven't even got around to cleaning them yet because, I mean, there's a lot of them here and it takes a long time. I put a chain in there and swish it around and yeah. So looks like Dr. Pepper one in there. I think the rest of these are all just Pop Shop, but we'll get on to some of the other ones. Now this box here, this is a big 40-ounce Pepsi bottle. That one's kind of cool. Some more Wishing Well bottles, probably 40s, 50s, somewhere in there. And then a lot of just newer ones. There's an old Coke one, probably from the 40s or 50s. 47, I'm assuming that means 1947. And then more long neck beer bottles, some stubby beer bottles. I think these were just a Canadian thing. I don't know if they had stubby beer bottles in the States or not. I'm sure you guys will let me know. HPs. This is kind of a local one. This was bottled in North Battleford, Saskatchewan, city just, you know, an hour and a half away from Kerrobert here. Mission Beverages. Does it say where this was bottled in? Something tells me this is a local brand. I'm not sure though. Okay, I just found another box here. I keep forgetting how many of these I actually have. More Canada Dry, probably from the 80s or 90s. These are just some newer reproductions, Suncrest. Got some original Suncrest down in here, probably from the 50s or so. There's a little one. No, these are all kind of buried in here, so. Another Suncrest one. And I got some bigger Sprite bottles here. Another big 7-Up one, 20 ounce, I think this is. What else? You don't really see, or at least I don't really see these Fresca bottles too much. I don't know if that's just a Canadian drink or what. And then just lots of these Coke bottles. I see those out there. Milk bottle. Got this Sprite one, probably from the 70s. Older Pepsi one, 60s most likely, 70s maybe. Canada Dry. Another Fresca one down there. Kind of a faded Pepsi one. I think I remember finding this one. I found this in like a junk pile, like an old garbage dump type thing. Oh yeah, and then these are pretty cool here. This is a reproduction, but it's like the old like 30s or 40s style crush bottles. It's clear though. I think originally this style, they were brown glass, but it says made in Mexico. I think I got this one in LA though, when we were there. Another crush bottle in here. Kind of an older one with the lines out of the lettering there, probably from the 60s. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it for that box there. Move on to the next. Okay, now some of you may recognize this place. This is my hoarder bin. It's gotten a little more cluttered since I did the last video here. And get back here, I will show you some of the bottles I have out here. Now, a lot of these were just kind of like old field finds or whatever. Dr. Pepper, that one's kind of cool. Some of these came from Mexico. This one's kind of neat. I think 2008. 16-ounce Coke bottle. I don't know what this is. Some sort of school project or something I was trying to do. Little old Coke can with a pull tab. I don't know how it's empty. They emptied it somehow. This one is kind of neat. A little Sprite bottle with a paper label, probably from the 80s. This came from the States. I think it's a A&W root beer float. I honestly don't remember what that tasted like. A lot of this is just kind of random stuff. Royal Crown, kind of faded. These here, that cap isn't from that bottle obviously, but some of this stuff isn't all that old. An old twist off Pepsi bottle, probably from the 60s or so. Diet Sprite with a paper label. Not sure. I think these are kind of like medicine bottles or something with a cork in it. Can't really move around in here all too well. Fresca bottle with a paper label. What else do I have in here? Hires bottle. It's kind of neat. Another Crush bottle. I have a few of those. 16-ounce Pepsi. There's one from Mexico. What else is in here? More stubby beer bottles. Fanta with a paper label. An old Cott Beverages grape flavor steel can. One that you had to use a can opener on. That's pretty old. Coke bottle that I haven't cleaned up yet. And I don't know how much further I'm going to be able to get back in here. More of these Pepsi bottles from Mexico. Some old stubbies with the label still on. This was something they had in Canada just for a short. time. Coca-Cola Black. I think it was like a coffee flavored Coke, if I remember correctly. This was from about 06 or something. March 26th, 07, so probably 2006. Sobeys Coke bottles commemorating the 100th anniversary. Yeah, a lot of stubbies with the labels still on them. And then I got these, I think, 28-ounce Coke bottles. A few of those. Pepsi. These are from the States too. 2008, the expiry date says. And then there's an empty one. I got a full one like that, I think I showed you. Oh yeah, here's like some old Javex bleach bottles. I'm not sure what that one is there. Got a sticker on that one. Can't really get much further over here. There's a ketchup bottle there. And here's some more, another Hires bottle. Calgary beer. Some new Pop Shop ones. And yeah, let's see what's on these top shelves. So here's a Dad's root beer bottle. Not too sure when that's from, probably the 60s or so. This Coke can's kind of cool. This is from South Africa, I think. It's got your conventional, like, modern tab there, and then on the other side it's got a pull tab. Thought that was kind of neat. What is this here? Not sure what that one is. 2000s Pepsi can. Not really anything too special. I'll see if I can get over to that box there. I'm kind of reaching here. Okay, I don't think it's really going to be possible for me to get over there, but I'll just kind of... Yeah, I don't really know what's in there. I know it looks like there's an old 7-Up back there. Okay, now I'm not all too sure what's in this barrel. I know at one time, quite a few years ago, my dad came in here and he took a bunch of stuff to Sarcan, like as a punishment or whatever. And I think this was the stuff that, like, they stopped him there and said, "Whoa, do you know what you have here? Like, these are all like antique bottles and stuff." And then, you know, I guess he changed his mind and maybe brought him back. At least that's what I was told. But I know I've been missing a lot of stuff since then. Oh yeah, down at the bottom here is kind of the old stuff that they probably told him, you know, don't be recycling this. I haven't looked in here in so long, I don't even know. Dig around too much because they're all just kind of falling down on top of each other. I should spend some time and go through this stuff properly. This has all been in here for years. Oh, there's a really old Pepsi bottle down there. I didn't put put these all in here just in case anyone's wondering. That would be my dad threw all these in here like this. Okay, well, I don't really want to dig around too much more in there because I don't want to break anything, but... So I think that pretty much does it for my bottle collection. You're probably wondering why I'm not displaying these or anything, and they're all just kind of haphazardly, you know, hoarded away, I guess. And I don't really have a place to display them. You know, my plan is when I get my own place and I have the space and the real estate to actually kind of set up a proper display, then I'll do that. But, you know, everything in here is just kind of in storage now until, you know, I have my own place, and then I can furnish it how I want with these antiques and stuff. So that's kind of the plan, at least. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you liked this kind of video and want me to kind of show off more of my specific collections, I can do that. And yeah, anyways, I hope you liked this. Remember, check out Bob the Bottle Man. He's the one who inspired me to do this video. So go subscribe to him. I'll put a link to his channel. And yeah, the podcast with me and my brother, the Prairie Dunker, we did that. So I will put a link to his channel and you can go check out that podcast. I think it's pretty good. Some good topics discussed. So definitely go check that out, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.